The hype has been and always will be Fortnite, Fortnite, Fortnite. But what if Call of Duty was actually the first franchise to bring Battle Royale to the Nintendo Switch? What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here, and a new rumor has emerged that Black Ops 4 includes a separate Battle Royale mode, and that mode is coming to Switch. Now, we know that Black Ops 4 has been announced for other platforms. There were rumors of it coming to Switch. None of that has materialized yet, and maybe it never will. But new intel from Gaming Intel states that this Battle Royale mode is separate from the game, will be bundled with the game on other platforms, and will be coming separately without the main game to Nintendo Switch. Granted, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but they are saying that they have verified this with multiple sources, and it does ring pretty true to a lot that we've heard in recent days and weeks about Black Ops 4 abandoning campaign and including a whole lot of crazy multiplayer action.
So many questions here automatically right off the bat, Zach. How much is this going to cost when it comes to Switch by itself? Now, the rumor is that this is like part of a bundle on other platforms, but it's coming to Switch alone. You can't sell that experience for $60 then, can you?
No way.
Especially not if Fortnite does come to Switch, which, again, I think that happens, and that Battle Royale mode is free and supported by microtransactions. Then what do you do with this on Switch? Like, do you make this free? Activision doesn't like making things free as far as we know. So many questions up in the air. Like, this rumor, instead of like clearing things up, it just kind of makes things a little murkier.
It does. I do think that it seems pretty plausible. I mean, the idea of bringing one element, one aspect, maybe something more optimized to the Switch makes sense. You know, the entirety of Black Ops 4, perhaps it's just the focus is on Xbox One and PS4 and they can't make it happen this year. But if this is in fact being developed separately, like the rumor states by Raven Software and Beanox, then they would have more opportunity to make it work on Switch. And you'd figure that this Battle Royale mode, given a 100 player count, will probably have less intensive graphics, maybe less intensive systems, and maybe is something that would be more suitable for the Switch. Regardless of price, as you said, it's near impossible to predict how they would work this, especially if it's not being sold separately other places. But do you think this is A, smart way to bring Call of Duty to Switch, and B, do you foresee it having success if it does happen?
I think I'll tackle the second part first. Success, I think, is all but assured on Nintendo Switch for Call of Duty, right? I think there is a hunger there for a really good FPS experience. The only thing that I would say is going to be a hindrance is performance, right? You're going to want Call of Duty to be at 60 FPS. That's just the way Call of Duty feels naturally to a lot of people that are familiar with the franchise. If you bring over a Battle Royale mode and it's 30 FPS, which is what I would assume it would be, because those worlds are generally a little bit bigger, and so many players as well, I can't imagine them being able to hit the 60 FPS consistently. Like, to me, that is like the biggest thing there. But, you know, Call of Duty on Switch is going to sell. I think there's a very safe floor there for how many copies of this thing you can sell.
Absolutely. And obviously positioning will be important. But if they are able to launch ahead of Fortnite, that would be huge. And I do think it's a smart way to start introducing and incorporating Call of Duty to the Switch. I mean, frankly, I would rather have this Battle Royale mode, this supposed Battle Royale mode, than, say, a dumbed-down version of the main package. And maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but if they're already removing campaign, I kind of like this idea. It still brings Call of Duty to Switch, which is the crucial aspect, but it does so in a very modern way, in a very almost, forward-thinking way, and would utilize the ability to take the console with you everywhere for these 100-player matches, for these Battle Royale matches. I don't know. I think it lines up really well. Now, you mentioned off-air, Gabe, that we do have rumors from some other places, such as Marcus Sellers, saying like, just wait, Black Ops 4, it's coming to Switch. Now, there was never clarification if it was the entire game, or maybe this is what they're referring to, or maybe these rumors don't even line up in any way. But I've always felt that Call of Duty would come to the console in some fashion this year. I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and there seems like there's this fake race going on at this point, right? For Fortnite, Call of Duty, and a sleeper, and we're not going to talk about it too much, but Paladins could also be coming to Switch. There's a rumor about that in the code there is like references to the Switch and Nintendo platforms, and now that has a Battle Royale mode. That was a hero shooter. I mean, still is on PC, but the Battle Royale mode is what they're pushing now, just because that's so popular. Companies are going to be making a push, and it's all about which one gets on here first. And if you're first, you better do it right, because the competition is probably coming. If Fortnite comes out, they need to be very aware that Call of Duty is coming, at least on Switch. I think Fortnite has nothing to worry about as far as Call of Duty in general. I don't think that this is going to take away too much of the thunder. But as far as getting on Nintendo first, it'll be curious to see which one happens.
Yeah, and from a greater industry perspective, once Call of Duty and Battlefield on whatever platform hit the Battle Royale scene, I will be super curious to see what the player drain is like from PUBG and Fortnite, and where the balance shifts, if it shifts at all. Does Fortnite retain complete dominance? Does Call of Duty and Battlefield siphon enough to make a splash? Are people going to double dip and sort of play on both? Like, as we get more saturated in this space, it's going to be real interesting to see if anyone can sort of come in and steal some thunder, steal some percentage points away from the big guns. Now, just to cover the other side briefly, you could say that it's pretty darn disappointing that Switch isn't getting the full Call of Duty experience, and why aren't they doing that? But as we've seen with Dark Souls Remastered being delayed and Wolfenstein 2 still not releasing, it does feel like there's some level of difficulty and or trouble with bringing multi-platform titles that look and play, with extreme graphics or extreme speed to the Switch. And that's where I think that if this is being developed by a separate group of studios, that would allow them to maybe develop and dedicate more time to the Switch version than if you just said, hey, Treyarch, bring Black Ops 4 to Switch.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on the thing that you said here earlier, where you said, like, hey, does this take away anything from Fortnite? It's so difficult because Fortnite is free. That's the only thing. Like, that's why...
And we don't know. This technically could be free as well.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Do you think it... Let's say we believe the rumor for now. Like, do you think it's free? It's Activision, after all. Yeah, so...
No, I do think the rumor part where they say it would be bundled in a bigger version with... Like, I know they did that with Modern Warfare Remastered, and that still accrued a huge player base. Like, initially that was the only way to get it. So maybe they just replicate that, but it would be weird to me, especially since the goal of like Fortnite is just to amass the biggest player base possible. You'd think that, but again, Call of Duty is in a weird spot. You can't really make Battle Royale free and then charge $60 for the rest and not expect some significant drop off of people saying, hey, I'll get my Call of Duty fixed through the free version, through the Battle Royale. So I feel like they have to charge for it. And then I think if you're charging for it on PS4 and Xbox One and PC, you got to charge for it on Switch. So yeah, that really could be a nail in the coffin before the coffin is even brought to the table. Because if Fortnite's free as we expect, and Call of Duty is $20 or $30 or $15 or whatever, you're instantly limiting. But hey, I mean, Call of Duty, games like Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty still sell bajillions of copies at their full value. So maybe the namesake alone is enough to push this idea.
When do you think we learn more details about this at all? There's a ton of Call of Duty rumors out there. There's a community event that's coming up, but that seems that's more just like to show what the game is. It doesn't seem like that's where they would announce anything. What do you think? Do we think E3 is where we find out?
The reveal event is on May 17th. I fully expect them to clarify what's going on in a major way there. To me, it seems like May 17th is where you explain, and then June 10th or whatever day it is, 9th, whatever, I don't know, whatever it is the day where you show more gameplay. I feel like you have to if this is going to be a drastically different Call of Duty in terms of how the components come together, I think you have to start laying the groundwork for that, and you have to start explaining that. We saw Destiny 2 do something similar at their community event where they explained a lot and then showed more at E3, and I would fully expect Call of Duty to actually follow that same pattern. It is an Activision title, and I think they will use May 17th to really get the details, and then it's just like the whiz-bang trailer gameplay, show off your showpiece at E3.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, so we are only a couple of weeks away from that May 17th date, so we'll find out soon enough. But let us know in the comments down below how you feel about a Call of Duty Battle Royale and it coming to Switch without the rest. If that's what happened, how would you feel? Would you be excited to have Call of Duty on Switch in some capacity, or would you be bummed that the hybrid can't get the whole enchilada? Let us know your take. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and whatever comes of this plausible possible scenario. We'll keep you posted. Follow us on Twitter and Discord for the latest updates. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, my friends, for myself and Gabe, Switch Force